Yeah, hi there. This is tuxauto.com again. Welcome on my video channel. Sometimes you occur images where the sharpness or details are not as sharp or as detailed as expected, or where you have to do a severe crop to let the image more impact on the viewer, so you don't have enough pixel for bigger displays or for a larger prints. That is where the Lightroom Classic enhancement function comes in handy, which is a function generated DNG file outside the regular development module. And that is probably due to the implementation, because it's sort of the same procedure as super resolution in Photoshop CC. I link here a video on the top, and which is not reachable on Photoshop CC itself. It's only usable in Adobe Camera Raw. But let's take a look on the laptop on some examples I did on this new function.
Okay, I did a special Lightroom catalog here with some sample images, so to call, for the enhance and super resolution tutorial and review. And maybe let's start with this image here over here. As you can see, that's from the Lumix S5, a full frame camera, but here you might occur that the feather here are not as sharp as you would like them to have. That might be because of the shutter speed here. There might be some micro jitters or something like that, so that image isn't that sharp as I would like to have it. Okay, here comes the enhancement tool in place. We go to Photo, go to Enhance, and now you got the same dialog you probably know from super resolution in Photoshop CC, or better to say, not Photoshop CC, that is Adobe Camera Raw. Okay, let's hit this. Okay, here I'm on the eyes and head of the bird, so now we can start it. Okay, here in this case, I just want to do enhancement, which doesn't increase the resolution at this point, but might as well increase the sharpness of the image a little bit. So we do that and do an enhance. And outside the development module, Lightroom will create a DNG file and stack it together with the original image if you choose that in the dialog. And here we got the enhanced DNG file. Okay, let's select the other one. And now we do a comparison view. Okay, you've got here the DNG, and on the other side the original RAW file. And I think you can notice that the details here in the feathers are a little bit more distinguished compared to the original RAW file. But of course, you can't improve anything which is messed up by the photographer. In this case, those little micro jitters you see here in the head, it can be corrected by the enhance. Okay, maybe we take another example. That might be the situation like in this file here. That's a pretty good architecture, and by the way, that's the marketplace of my hometown Aachen. And as you can see here in the EXIF data, that it was shot with the MFT camera and the pretty superb lens 12 to 35 2.8 from Lumix at 12 millimeter. Okay, if we go here in the 100% view, you see, of course, the sharpness of the image. That's very okay, and even if you would print out that on a 40 by 50 or even 50 by 70 centimeters, that would be okay for this image. But what about if I go and do a really severe crop? And if I press here I again, you can see the resolution, which is 4100 48 by 3888. That's the standard resolution of the Lumix G9. But to improve, let's say, the image, it's just for demonstration purposes. What about if I do a severe crop on the image, like this one? So I get the historical building here in the foreground, do that, and then you only have a little bit over 3000 by 2500. That's around 7 megapixel. So your large enlargements are pretty restricted at this time. But now here we got the enhancement tool, and that this time with the option to extend the resolution of the image. We just click here super resolution, which always includes the improvement of the raw details. Here you got the preview. That is not that good at this time, but okay. And here we got an estimated time of 6 seconds for this image. And super resolution means that the size is of the image is increased by 4 times. All the edges are increased or are doubled, so that will increase the resolution by 4 times. Okay, let's do an enhance, and have to wait these 6 seconds. And of course the routine generated GNG file too. But here now you can see here we are in the DNG file, and the details in the 100% view is a lot more detailed than compared to the crop from the original image. But here you can see that the resolution is now 6748 by 5061. And if we do a comparison between this one and the original crop, let's do that right away. You see here that the original and the other image are cropped, and do a comparison view here. And here we got the DNG file, and now you can see the difference. I think that the enlargement of the image will result in a pretty sharp image, which it's already made for large enlargements in printing or other usages. Maybe here in this special case I will do a little bit of noise reductions, because here in the windows you see just a tiny bit of noise, but that is, I guess, not the problem. Okay, maybe let's do another example, and maybe we do that one here. As you can see here, that was one of my first tries with this 100 to 300 millimeter lens on the MFT system, and here I got the bird in the fly, but that shot was taken with ISO 1600 on a MFT camera. You see that the shot is sharp, okay, but of course noisy, and this flying bird is just a tiny bit of the image. So we could do a crop, a pretty severe crop, like this one. Now let's do it like this here. Maybe do a little bit more. Okay. And as you can see here, you really have 5-6 megapixel if I calculated right. The duck here is still sharp, but of course for the 100% view you don't have enough room or enough pixel in this case, and that is where enhance come in. And this time we of course do an enhancement too, and you can see here that it will take 6 seconds. We do the enhancement. Okay, now we stack the enhance, and maybe we do a comparison. That's the enhanced DNG, and you can see here that you get a lot of more room for the 100% view. Of course you got a lot of noise because of the ISO setting of 1600, but that would be something for further image processing, but that looks pretty good if we compare that to the original crop. Let's do that. Make here a comparison view. And I think the result will convince you that that might be a good idea to sometimes at least try the enhancement tool in Lightroom Classic.
As you can see, the detail enhancement in the regular raw enhancement is pretty good if you have a image that is not as detailed as you expected to, like in this little example from the bird. But where this function really forces you to enhance your images is of course, the super resolution function, where you can crop into the image quite severe, like on the other example I showed you from the bird, where the bird is only a little part of the image, and I could crop in, and even with the super resolution function I would have enough pixels to do a larger print or display this image on larger displays. Of course, depending on camera and ISO setting, you have to watch out for noise and do a noise reduction first. But in most cases, that's not that the problem. But if you use higher ISO in combination with that, like you saw in the example from the flying duck, there is noise reduction necessary, of course, before you display this image or print it on larger sizes. But this enhancement function can save your life sometimes, as you might say in photography terms, and it's good that it's integrated in Lightroom Classic, so you don't have to call Adobe Camera Raw or Photoshop to do this on your images. Okay, if you have any questions to this, you might as well place them in the comments to this video or in the comments of the corresponding blog post. And if this video was a little bit helpful to you, you might think about placing a like on this video. And of course, I would appreciate if you subscribe my channel, but then don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, that was my little review on the enhancement function in Lightroom Classic. And all I have to say, till the next time, ciao, tux oche.